Yeah. Tell me why it wouldn't happen. Why wouldn't the worst of us line up for a costume? A gun, a badge, a legal halo, a culture of silence, a public trained to flinch. Why wouldn't monsters see that and call it a career path? Why wouldn't the cruelest gravitate towards sanctioned force? A paycheck, a pistol, and skepticism moral, of course. Why wouldn't a petty sick a job where ego carries weight? Where disrespect becomes a dragger and compliance is the bait? Why wouldn't sadist love a place where pain gets new names? Control technique, pain compliance, procedural word games. Why would a bully love a uniform and back up on call? A Batman belt full of leverage in the town, train to stall. You built a role with force, prestige, and love accountability. The next surprise when predators show interest in the facility. You gave a narrative, shouts of courtroom deference, social praise, and wonder why the worst among us stare at that amazed. That ain't mystery, that's incentive. Wearing shiny gear, a job that lists domination, smacks the rate of civic career. So don't ask why a monster enters. Ask what did you present, a monopoly on violence with a pension and claim say. Why wouldn't monsters want the badge? Power, protection, ego in the package. Why wouldn't predators join the state force with a halo and a low mistake rate? It's a magnet for monsters, destruction does the sword, and good men get squeezed out bagling, call it duty and reporting. Why wouldn't the worst of us step right in when the system rewards the darkest impulses in men? Not just the brute, not just the knuckle dragging cartoon villain. Sometimes the monster smiles clean and sticks and polished diction. Assumption and cruelty, bureaucratic disposition. The man who likes control and finds uniforms efficient. The sword who loves hierarchy because it flatters his disease. The sword who hears public servant and translates nobody says no to me. The sword who wants to cast above the ordinary human rules. Who likes a word where force is virtue and suspicion is a tool. And once inside the culture starts refining, born and found. Thin blue line of silence, turning conscience inside out. Because the decent rookie learns real quick work is punished there. Not violence, not lying, just making peers self-aware. You question the bad stop, your backup gets uncertain. You report the wrong man, now your own career is hurting. So the system doesn't merely attract, it also at its soul squeezes out the ones with scruples, keeps the ones who fit the mold. Why wouldn't monsters want the badge? Power, protection, ego in a package. Why wouldn't predators join the state force with a halo and a low mistake rate? It's a magnet for monsters, destruction does the sword, and good men get squeezed out bad men, call it duty and reporting. Why wouldn't the worst of us step right in when the system rewards the darkest and impulses in men? Think of thinking sinners, not the slogans in the brochure. You can bark a stranger, search their lives, and still be called secure. You can escalate a contact, ruin somebody's month, and write a paragraph, a boilerplate they call the whole thing. Just you can feel important every day, got making others tense. Borrow existential away from a gun and institutional fence. And if you cross the line too far, that's layers built to catch you. Doing you prosecute a policy levies there to soften what comes at you. Not always perfectly, no, but often enough to teach that the badge can buy forgiveness. No civilians will never reach that lesson's cringe faster. Any agency worth naming, the bold get caution. Maybe the words get better at reframing. So why wouldn't credit and study that and warning under your raisement? You made domination stable, salaried, and reputationally adjacent. Then the good intention types come and thinking to protect, help the hurt, calling the chaos, carry out or in the chest. There may be some meaning, at least on the first few steps, till the culture starts explaining what survival in the unit is. Don't embarrass your partner, don't rush in the report, don't make a scene over floors, don't get the grass tore, don't side with civilians, don't be the one who snitch, don't make it turn to waves unless you wanna get switched. Now watch the squeeze happen, cause slow and administrative bad evaluations, isolation, back up turning hesitant, could be a bad mirror and reputation getting tagged. Every conscience has a price when it fights the bad. Some quit, some fold, some then piece by piece. Some learn it for corruption, just how we get the peace. That's how good intentions get domesticated into harm and pushed outside the circle by the brotherhood of Why wouldn't monsters want the badge? Power, protection, ego in a package. Why wouldn't predators join the state force with a